What's up, Hawk fans? I'm Tym Brown here with Mike Najarian and Matt Ford-Wellman. We're here previewing another game for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks going up against the Harwich Mariners tonight. It's going to be a fun one, fellas, isn't it?
We're looking for a win, Tim. That's kind of where I'm at. I think that's where Mike's at. We talked before the game during BP. It's win time. I think everybody wants a win. This is game 30, right, guys? So, it's time to get rolling if we want to make a big play for a playoff position.
Absolutely, Mike. A big one here for Hyannis, as Matt mentioned, but Harwich, they're a tough team. What are they bringing into McKeon Park today?
Yeah, so Harwich, they got Gianni Gambardella on the mound today, right-handed pitcher from Maine. This is going to be his third start and his fifth total appearance for the Mariners today. He's got a 3.68 ERA, 1.16 whip, over just under 15 innings pitched. He does not walk a lot of hitters. His walks per nine at 2.5. But he also doesn't strike out a lot of hitters either. His strikeouts per nine at 4.3. So I think this is a guy that Hyannis is going to be able to get a lot of contact off of. It's just going to be a question of, will all that contact translate into some runs? Obviously the Hawks offense has had a bit of a hard time with stranding runners on base. Gambardella's last outing, July 15th against Orleans, pitched 4 1/3 innings. 3 runs allowed on 6 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts in what ended up being a loss. His first outing of the season was scoreless, and the 3 outings since, he's given up at least 1 run. He's been hit. He's got a 1-run record. As I just said, with his low strikeout numbers, probably not going to be a lot of strikeouts. So it's just going to be a question of how can Hyannis capitalize on the contact they're going to get off him today.
Absolutely. A New England guy at a New Hartford, Connecticut, going and playing at Maine, and now he's in the Cape, actually playing his best baseball here on the arm of Massachusetts, where the boats sail, Matt, as we'll say. But yeah, I mean, he has a 3.38 ERA.
3.68.
3.68. He had a 4.88 last year with Maine in the AEC. Like you said, he fills up the strike zone. Matt, what does the Hyannis offense have against this guy?
Well, I think Mike already really alluded to it. They're going to have to make contact. It's going to be really a game of how hard can Hyannis really hit the ball. They're going to have to hit line drives. They're going to have to hit some balls that get caught. But I think, this lineup can be persistent and they can really push through. Let's talk about, the guys that are in specifically the 1 and the 3 spot. Jake Schaffner, the clear 1 hitter right now, with Ryan McKay obviously not in the lineup, taking a bit of an off day. Jeff Luigi is in the 3 spot. We're all pumped about that. Jeff's been hitting the ball really, really hard lately, and I think he can kind of stretch those balls in the outfield. I don't know if they're all going to get caught. I hope not. Hopefully some fall in there. Hopefully some doubles get, dropped in there. Maybe we see a home run. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Parker Brucius is in the lineup tonight in left field. He's a new player for us. We're kind of hoping that, he steps up. I think he's in the 2-hole. So we're going to see a bit of a new bat kind of taking precedent tonight, fellas. And then Brody Briggs is in the 7 spot. That kind of feels like a bang for your buck pick. He's been really good at getting that lineup turned over, especially when he's had command of the battery. He's done really good with the pitching staff. And that kind of takes me into my next talking point. It's Tyler August on the bump tonight. I think this is a bit of a mixed emotion night for Hawks fans. I think we're all expecting the bullpen to come into play, but Tyler August would love to get 4 or 5 innings deep. It's his first start of the season, but he's got 16 innings so far. He's definitely worn the Hawks uniform, and he's had some bumpy starts. He has double the strikeouts to walks, but he also has 4 losses. So it's a bit of a weird scoring decision. He's had some really inopportune hits, and that's kind of led to some tough stats on the sheet. I think his big key is going to be using the defense. Play early with the off speeds. You want to get a lot of, balls in play. I don't think he's looking to get 11, 12 strikeouts. I think he's looking to get maybe, 7 through 5 and a lot of good ground ball contact with his off speeds, or a lot of pop-up contact with his fastball. Those would be really, really good to set precedent early. If they can get hitters swinging, they can get a lot of swing and miss stuff late.
And Mike, on the other side, the Harwich offense, obviously trying to come in here. They've been middling in the Eastern Division, trying to set some momentum for themselves. What are they going to bring in?
Yeah, so one guy they're going to have to look out for, D. Kennedy. He doesn't have a lot of pop. His slugging percentage is only in the 300s, but his on-base percentage is really good. His on-base percentage is 381. He gets on base a ton. He's got 11 walks. He's only got 6 extra base hits out of his 19 total in 21 games. And, he's a threat. He played in the All-Star game for a reason. He's a talented player. I believe he homered in the All-Star game, if I'm not mistaken. So that's somebody that's Tyler August and the Hyannis pitching staff going to have to look out for as well. But the Harwich offense in total is really, it's not great. You look at the stats; they're really in the bottom of the Cape League in a lot of stuff. They're last in the league in RBIs. They're the only team that doesn't have 100 RBIs yet. They're stuck at 99. They're last in slugging percentage at 310, last in OPS at 640. They're tied for last in total runs scored. They have the third most strikeouts in the Cape League. It's just things have not been clicking into gear for Harwich. And, talking before the game, Harwich, it's one thing or another. Either their pitching shows up or their offense shows up. It's been hard for them to get both this season, which is why they're kind of hovering right around 500. They haven't dipped below 500, but they've been hovering around 500 pretty much all season. And, that's given them trouble advancing in their division against teams like Brewster and YD, who have put together complete games more often. But, whichever version of Harwich we get today, it's definitely going to be something Hyannis needs to worry about, A, with the skid we're on, and B, because we're trying to remain... We haven't lost them yet, and they want to keep it that way.
Well, that being said, Mike, what do you think is coming out of the game today? A wishy-washy Harwich team, as we've said. Hyannis still trying to find its way through the month of July. Let's get into the game predictions. Matt, do you want to start?
I would like to.
I was looking at Mike.
I know, you're switching him up, but I'd like to take his pick, I think.
You want to take his pick?
Well, I'm going to take my pick. That it might
you
be
think
Mike's
that's his pick?
a little bit.
All
I don't know
right.
if I'm taking his pick objectively.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
I really like Jeff Luigi in the 3. There's no doubt about it. He's in the right
So you were
spot for
taking
this
Jeff
lineup.
Luigi?
It was on my mind.
It was
Okay.
on
It was
my
on my
Okay.
mind.
I assume you have other picks, though, Mike. You're always a backup.
I've got some guys in mind.
But, Jeff's in the right spot. He's hitting the ball really hard. He's getting line drive contact. Ground balls through the infield count. The big pop-ups, those don't do anyone any good. Jeff's missing those big swings and misses. When he makes contact, he's having really good at-bats. He's my, player of the game pick. I think he'll have 2, maybe 3 RBIs today. He might include those in some runs. I think he will create offense more in the 3 spot than he might actually score offense as well. But I just think he's going to have a good game. I think we're going 6-2 Hyannis.
Okay.
I think we're going to stretch a little bit later in the game. I'd like to add. I think Harwich is going to start pitching well, but Hyannis is going to have to win the war of attrition tonight. They're going to have to hit a little better throughout the game. They're going to have to get those line drives that we were talking about earlier. And hopefully, the staff can just keep this struggling Harwich offense, Freudian slip there. The struggling Harwich offense at bay.
All right, Mike. Big prediction there. I wonder if you'll actually pick a win this time. I remember you picked a tie.
Yeah.
That almost came true.
Well, you know
Do it
what?
again, Mike.
Because we haven't lost to Harwich this year, I will pick a win.
Beautiful.
Wow.
I do think we're going to see a Hyannis win. The first time we played these guys, if you guys can believe this, it was our home opener all the way back in June, June 15th. We won that game 4-1. The last time we played these guys was at the start of the month, July 1st. It was a 2-2 tie. These teams have played each other well this season. There's obviously there's been plenty of turnover. These two rosters are not the same as they were on June 15th or on July 1st. I still think it's going to be a close game. With the way these teams are going right now, Harwich is 4-6 in their last 10. Hyannis, not as great in their last 10, even though they picked up the couple of wins there before the All-Star break. Still has not been great lately. But I think we're seeing signs that the tables are going to turn a little bit. Okay. I think we're going to see a couple more wins for these guys. So
Where
I
are these
like
signs coming from, Mike. I'm curious.
The fact that we haven't seen a lot of errors lately from the defense.
You're right.
We've been seeing mostly clean baseball.
Yes.
The hitting has capitalized. 3 hits and we still scored 8 runs against Chatham. That was a great day for the offense. And even against Falmouth, we saw late game magic. We saw a comeback win for the Hawks, which we have not seen very often. And, even against Brewster, they gave up the 2 runs late, but they were fighting, when they scored when they had runners. Most of the time they didn't score, but they did score.
You can't score all the time.
You can't score all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
But, we saw signs of an offense that's competing.
Of course.
So that's why I say the tables are maybe starting to turn in Hyannis. And we've gotten better starting pitching lately as well. Shout out to Basatomi. So I'll get back to my score prediction though.
Yes.
It's going to be a close game. Give me a repeat of the last time. Give me 4-1 Hyannis.
Beautiful.
All right.
I think Mitch Carricker talked to me yesterday. He needs Tyler August to throw strikes, get the team off to a good start in front of the mound. Coming off a scoreless inning in the Cape League All-Star game on Saturday, which was not easy to do against the East Division, I think Tyler August is going to get Hyannis the start they were looking for.
So both of my player of the game, my starter and my backup are taken. So
I didn't say
continue on your rant.
I didn't say he was going to be my player of the game.
Oh,
I just said that's what I think Tyler
you say
August is going to do. No, I didn't.
Oh,
My player of the game today.
Oh.
I like Charlie Bates as my player of the game today.
Oh,
6-0 Charlie Bates.
Yeah, he did. He went 0 for 2 against Brewster yesterday.
Whatever.
But he got on base with a walk in the 4th inning with 2 outs. The next batter up, Miles Davis, RBI single to score Jeff Lugie. That run doesn't score if Charlie Bates doesn't get on
Speedy Charlie Bates.
to extend the inning.
Right.
He's been hitting the ball well lately.
Mm-hmm.
I got Charlie Bates as my player of the game.
all right. Well, if I didn't spoil my prediction, I'm gonna play the game.
Like folded your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, you did bluff me. That was a bad poker game from me. More like Texas Fold'em. I will be going with Tyler August.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I will be going with Tyler.
I hope
If
this
that
comes
was
the
not-
most true.
Yes.
I love Jeff Lugie, but I hope Tyler would having a good day would be great.
Like you said, coming off a good inning in the All-Star game, he deserved that honor. And you mentioned about his strikeout to walk ratio. He's been filling up the strike zone. And another thing you said, Mike, Harwich's defense either shows up or its offense shows up. And I don't think the offense is showing up today with such a tough guy on the mound.
Mm.
That being said, give me a 2-0 Hyannis win.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful.
Because that pitching will show up for them. I believe in a Maine guy. I believe in a New England guy who sticks around. It's just a fun little, regional thing to
Sure.
believe in, even though, it probably doesn't mean anything. But, yeah, I believe the Hyannis offense will come through probably somewhere in the middle of the game, but Tyler August is going to go 5 deep, and then this bullpen is well rested and ready. You're going to have Diaz coming out of there, fiery. Maybe Spasiak will be active and ready. We'll see.
Very possible.
We will see.
Yeah.
Anything else to say, fellas? We want the fans coming out here.
We do want the fans to come out here.
What do we
Yeah.
want the fans to say?
Go Hawks!